Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. And so this is a bonus reading for Taurus. And our card today is the Chariot, and it is from the Del Toro Tarot deck. All right, let's see what these tea leaves have to say today. Oh, we have some kind of large, I don't, what does it look like? First I thought, oh, it looks kind of like a whale. Kind of looks like a pig, a little bit, with the ears. Okay, I'm going to go with pig maybe, a large pig there, which is always a most wonderful symbol when we are reading horoscopes, fortunes, and so on. This is a sign of great abundance, okay? And in relation to that Chariot card, I have to say, this makes me think that there's a lot of work going on, okay, in the physical world, not just the spiritual. I know that you're working hard in your spiritual zones, you're creative, and so on, but I really think this has so much to do with your career, with your passions. If you were post-work and into that more retirement phase of your life, then yeah, this could be like the things that you volunteer at, family stuff, work in the community, even the domestic work that we do at home, okay? But I do believe that with the pig, again, it's that abundance. It's not unlike the fish, right? When we see the little fish in the symbols in the tea leaves, I know there's a lot of abundance here. There's a lot of resources. Now, does that equate to money every time? I don't know. Not always, right? Sometimes this is opportunity. Sometimes this is, receiving like good deals on things. If you are a person that buys groceries for your home, you know how important it can be to find a good deal on quality produce, or, if you partake in, meats and things like this, finding a good deal, a sale, might be a lifesaver. As me being the one that runs the household and does all the shopping, or at least most, I'll give my husband some credit. He does do some of the shopping. I do the majority though, especially the food stuff. When you catch a sale and, you have the means in that moment to get some extra things, it can, definitely be a lifesaver there. So, that's just one example, okay? But this could be, extra work coming in, whatever it is. But it's going to be a good season. Let me just tell you that. I think that you're really going to be surprised by kind of how well things kind of go in your directions. But let's just keep in mind, this is what I always like to say. When we do have symbols of success, fortune, luck, a wish being granted, a miracle, any of these kinds of things, we must temper ourselves. We must be, aware of how this will affect other aspects of our life. I like to use that example of like that, the old story of the monkey's paw, right? Where you get to make the wishes, but every time you make a wish, something equal has to be given, right? In some way, or the wish changes the circumstances of your life in such a way where it kind of can almost be, a curse. Now, I'm not saying this is a curse. I'm just saying we have to be realistic about you know, how we use our success, how we use our fortune, and, you know, the blessings that come into our life. And especially when it comes to things. Hi, Pudgy. Did you come to say hello? Come on. You want to come over here? I think he's a little bit he's a little bit jealous because the baby's in there having fun with Dad. I'm recording during the day, and it's a day where we're all home, and my husband and my daughter are sick. I'm kind of on the verge of being sick. Been battling it, and I know some of you have been so sweet to give me well wishes, hoping to get better, you know, get that immune system boosted. Well, we woke up today. My husband is he's getting real congested and all that. So shout out to Dove and Serpent Tarot, Paul over there, my husband, my partner, love of my life. He could use all your prayers, and our daughter too. She's feeling pretty sniffly, not well, but she's still playing. You know, to be 3 years old and to be able to just really power through it. My goodness. All right. So let's just be wise about the success that is coming to you. Okay. Now, I want to also mention, if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing so. You can hit that little bell. When you do, it'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. And oh, interesting. And it is free to subscribe. Sorry, I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is... So we have a person who is kind of sitting here with their arm back. I imagine kind of sitting in the grass, you know, taking in some sun. And I imagine them daydreaming, really in this place of a profound... you know, active imagination, or something like I like to think of transcendental meditation a lot. This is a really deep form of visualization, right? Along with many other things, you know, breath work and all that. But I listened to David Lynch talk about transcendental meditation, and I'm always so inspired by his the way he communicates it. He's one of my favorite creatives. He's a director and a musician, among many other things. But come on, baby. Okay, fine, you can sit there. I'm not gonna fight with ya. But anyhow, he talks a lot about how this how meditation and actively exploring the interiors of your psyche, of the collective web, and all of these things, how this brings that flow of creativity. And so I look at this and I imagine, oh, it really is such a beautiful image of imagining oneself, and you can see there's a person kind of floating up, and I look up here, it looks like a cloud, it looks like a fish at the same time. So this is our pig, it's turned over, it does look like a fish on the other side. And so again, abundance. And so I do see you really conceiving. My goodness, mister. That tail of yours, I really do see you conceiving your path forward, okay? And no, this is not for you, my love. Come on, you gotta go. Come here. Oh, I don't want you to rip anything off. Oh, I love you, I love you. Come on, go on now. Go on now. And so... these two, if you watch my readings, you know we have the lovely Pudgy, we have the lovely TT, and they run this house. They really do. But my goodness, they really get up here and they get a little bit, a little bit loose with it. Okay, here we go. So, I can imagine you looking up and he kind of like swimming through the sky up to this big fish. You're going to make your big catch. And so I feel like there's a lot of planning, a lot of visualizing how you're going to make your next move, figuring out like, hey, this is really something that seems so interesting to me. I have a growing passion for this thing, and I am going to figure out a way to make this, part of how I maybe make money or make those resources that we were talking about. And I feel like this is such an important time for you to be paying attention to even the loose ideas that are going through your head, right? You watch a video, you see something on a movie, you read something on, one of the social media websites, whatever it is, and you think, hey, that might be something interesting. I might want to try that. I might want to implement that into the work I'm already doing. Maybe I can introduce this into my workplace or whatever it is. So please write it down. Write it down. Make a list. Keep a little ongoing list. You know how I love trying to get you to have journals, little pads of paper, writing down all your thoughts, everything that kind of comes. And I do. I think it's, even if you don't really look at it later on, it is important for the way that you are kind of coding your brain, right? To remember these things, to think about these things. If you're going through life and you're just kind of doing things that are in a routine and you're just kind of keeping your head down, doing the grind, taking care of the house, whatever your circumstances are, or however you've configured your life, taking care of the kids, running them around, all this stuff that we do, right? But we're not thinking about these other things. And it can be like that sometimes. You get through your days, and it's tiring. And then by the time you're done and everything's put away for the night, it's ready to, have 5 minutes by yourself or do whatever. Probably we end up spending that on our phone or watching the TV. And next thing you know, it's time to go to sleep, and do it all again. And I get that. But, where we can make a difference, I think, is in those moments while we're commuting, while we're doing our work, even, while we're walking back to the car from work, while we're making dinner, there are moments to think about, how can I do some different things with myself? What did I used to be so impassioned by? And this is one of my favorite things to really think about and get back to when we're stuck. What should I be trying next? Well, go back to your childhood. Okay, think about this. What did you enjoy doing when you were really young? Were you a kid that liked to, go dig in the dirt? Were you a kid that liked to lay on the floor and color? You had crayons and pencils and things all over the place, and you just laid there and would draw for hours? Were you, really devoted to, the sciences? Were you so interested in learning about how things worked? What was it that you spent your time with, basically? And how can you take that and bring it into your current life, right? What could you do, And maybe this isn't necessarily just about making money. Maybe it could end up being about making money. But what it is really an opening to start unlocking some of that stuff in your brain. Because once we get something going where we could really get into it, we get into that flow, more and more and more start to come. Our brain is working in a new and interesting way, or it's waking back up, right? We're getting that muscle really going, and we start having more ideas, and we start having more kind of sensations of enjoyment, of excitement, of being inspired, and, adding on to that. And so, I feel like this is a good time for you to really be thinking about these things, really allowing yourself to kind of drift through your mind. Go to those old, well, I don't know how old you are, but I feel like my childhood was a million years ago. So, I think back, what was I doing when I was a kid? I like to be around trees and plants, and I like to dig and build little cities in the mud and, this kind of thing. And, using this exercise really did bring me into actively gardening. And that has helped me a lot in my life because I also like to cook. So I was learning to, begin to make my own or create a space where I could grow some of my own herbs and spices and then vegetables and things like this, onions and, tubers and things. And, I'll tell you what, it really, it's something I could do all day, every day, if I had the chance. And hopefully one day, I hope, right? But this has been something that's really unlocked something for me. And I tell my husband all this, or I tell him this often. We talk about this because we're busy, just like anybody else, with a kid and all that. But I really believe that when I'm doing things that I love, like gardening, going for walks, reading poetry, listening to music, cooking with my family, baking, all these things, I do better readings. I feel more in touch with that river of inspiration that flows through my psyche. It's more accessible. When I'm just doing things I don't want to do all day long and I'm just kind of, huffing and puffing and feel like I could complain and, getting stressed and frustrated, I don't want to do readings. And when I do, because I do them anyways, I don't feel as connected. Okay. And thankfully, we've been very proactive, because we run these channels. We've been very proactive in our own ways to do the things that bring us inspiration. And so when I look at this, I think, I feel like you're in a very similar place, or you're getting there. And that is going to prove to be something that really pays off for you. Okay, in the long run, and not only that, I think it brings just a deeper sense of contentment, when we kind of indulge ourselves in ways that are productive, that, are not just like habitual or behaviors or things that can become kind of destructive, right? When we replace that with things that we love, that make us feel alive, that get us excited, to read the next book, to go to the next museum, to, I've talked about one I'm really interested in trying is mudlarking. So digging through the mud on the sides of creeks and rivers, okay, and looking for artifacts from people who lived there previously. And this is so interesting. I love like historical stuff. I'm not a huge history buff, but I enjoy it. And, it's just one thing leads to the next, right? And it's just you really get on fire there, and it's fun. And life all of a sudden is like super exciting, you know. And, you know, I think that the way the world feels right now, and in a lot of ways, yes, there's a lot of just pain, darkness, loneliness, you know, conflict and hardship, right? Suffering. There's a lot of that. But it is also one of the best times to be alive. We have access to so much information. We have the ability to empower ourselves. You know, we have, you know, the access to, a universe that was never accessible until recently, very recently. And now with things like the internet, you can learn how to do stuff all the time. You can figure things out to help, you know, get into whatever thing you're really interested in. It used to be that you had to be like really looking for a certain book or a club, or, you know, do a lot of research, have to travel far, far, far to, you know, find somebody else that maybe had a similar hobby or whatever. But now we're all connected. So make use of it, dang it. All right. Let's see. Hello, T. TT's come to bless our reading as well. We have a squirrel. We have 2 birds. The squirrel, again, stacking them coins, right? No, it is though. Kind of putting away resources, okay? As you are filling yourself up with this inspiration, figuring out how to make resources with it, make sure that you are also putting some of that away, right? Saving it up. Now, we also have the 2 birds. So there will be 2 messages coming through for you in this next little cycle of time. You know, how I do these readings, I don't put dates on them because I don't think that they are limited to a time period. I believe when you watch these readings, they are activated. Okay, so if you watch this the day it comes out, or if you watch it, you know, a month from then the reading becomes activated for you when you find it, when it finds you, you know, everything in its right time. So there will be 2 messages coming up. Okay, look for those. I think that they will be signs, symbols, synchronicities in your life. And this is some kind of guardian angel, some kind of loved one who is looking over you, something like this, okay? And this is going to be very meaningful. And this is also going to be part of that, you know, ramping up into this inspiration that you're having. And I think this will be such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, little miss, I'm going to hold on to you, but I got to move this over. Okay, so we're going to do the Cincy Child affirmation cards and shout out to, and maybe they're not watching because I think I would forget what sign it was on, but somebody commented and said they went and bought these cards, which they are on Amazon, and you can look them up online too if you prefer to purchase them from some kind of tarot, you know, business or whatever. But anyway, somebody went out and bought them. Awesome. You know, I love these affirmation cards. I had never really heard of them until I started doing the readings. And then I've ordered quite a few different decks, and they are so cool. They really are. It's neat to be able to have that little boost there. Okay, so I'm just going to read this with you, and it says, I am worthy of love, and I am lovable. Yeah, you are. You are. So lovable. All right, T, you want to say goodbye? You going to say goodbye? All right. Well, Taurus, thank you so much for joining us for this bonus reading. It is always such a privilege and honor to be able to bring these messages to you. So if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help so much. And what else? If you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe. We'd love to have you here at the channel. I don't want you to miss any of these videos. And what else, TT? What else? If you want to leave a comment, yes, that's the one. If you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them all, and they mean so much to me. And I want to mention, if you go over to the community post section, there is a post there. It is for anybody who has a small business, provides some kind of service. What else? Has a channel. Okay, go over there, post it. Tell us what you do, put the info in there. I want to be able to support you like you support me. You support my husband, Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is Paul. He also has the same post on his community section, post section, and you can go over there and do it on his as well. He has a huge channel. Well, to me, I'm like, oh my goodness, your channel is so big. My gosh. So he has a really big audience as well. A lot of people in his community. So put them on both. Okay. A lot of really neat things people have posted. I know somebody had like a journaling a journal with prompts and things that they created. I think yesterday somebody posted their cartoonist. They do 2D drawings. They have a children's book out, and I remember it said they have a free audio version of their children's book on their channel. So if you want to go check that out, go look in the community section post on that post, and it's right in there. And you can put it on newest post first, and then that one will come up, because I saw that yesterday and I was like, oh cool, I'm doing that this weekend when I have a few minutes for sure. So anyways, I want to thank you again. I love you. Again, wash your hands, everybody. Be safe out there. These colds, flus, other things going around. I'm just hoping that we can get through this. We can celebrate our holidays coming up. We have Saturnalia here in a couple days, and it's my favorite holiday of the year. So I'm going to be bummed if we can't have a little bit of a feast and all of that. But it is what it is. We just got to keep ourselves, on them vitamins and washing the hands. All right. Thank you. We'll talk again very soon.